Slip Slip Sis YouTube channel. I'm Gabs. I'm one half of your Slip Slip Sis duo, and this video is my 30 cozies in 30 days video for the month of May. It's right now April 22nd, so I'm getting ready to make 30 cozies in the month of May. It's coinciding with Nitty Natty's cozy along because I was fortunate to be in her test knit for her mini crochet yarn cozy in the fingering way. I think it's her mini crochet light cozy test knit, and then became immediately obsessed with making yarn cozies. So for the entire month of May, I'm going to challenge myself to make 30 cozies. And I know May has 31 days, but I'm giving myself a buffer day. So 30 for 30, like you hear everyone say. I forgot to tell you that we are on Instagram as Slip Slip Sis, as slip.slip.sis, and on Ravelry as Slip Slip Sis. You can find all the information below. My sister usually does the intro, so I'm not that good at this. I just want to go ahead and tell you what I'm excited about. So yarn cozies, if you're not familiar, they control your center pool yarn cakes. Like, let me see. Sorry, I'm getting you a yarn. So when you take up your yarn on a yarn baller, it looks like this. This is a mini skein, and then you can pull it out of the center. So sometimes as you're pulling, the outside gets like tangled and messed up in your yarn bag or your project bag. So yarn cozies help prevent that. And I have a bunch. I have some that are fabric. This one is from Cookie and Bees. This is for 100 gram skein of yarn, but I only have 50 grams in it, which is why it's a little bit loose. This yarn is breaking yarn in the Saul Goodman colorway. And I also have mini skeins or mini yarn cozies from Cookie and Bees, which is what this is. This purple is from Earl Grey Fiber Company, but Cookie and Bees is no longer selling yarn cozies. I think she does like sporadic updates, but it's not anything regular. So I'm like, oh no, now I need more yarn cozies. So what I'm actually going to be making though are these yarn cozies this is Nitty Natty's mini crochet yarn cozy. This is the 50 gram size. So you can see they're similar, right? They contain your yarn. The yarn is on the inside, and then this can get like mangled a little bit in your bag and your yarn doesn't get out of control. This is Honolulu from Destination Yarn, and this orange is is a leftover from my sister. I can't remember. If you really, really need to know and you really love this color, leave a comment below. So that's what I'm making, is these. But then I got to thinking and I was like, that's a lot of crocheting, or that's a lot of knitting. So now I've expanded it to also be fabric ones, because I'm trying to teach myself how to make some fabric yarn cozies as well. I also have discovered that I need a DPN cozy for my Cozy Memories blanket. So I'm also including DPN cozies count. So any form of cozy. And if you want to be entered in Nitty Natty's cozy along, you do need to use her patterns. I'm expanding it to use other patterns as well. And I do have a Ravelry bundle I put together, which a bundle is just like it's like a folder, right, on Ravelry with everybody's yarn cozy pattern in it. So I will link that down below as well. The majority of them are free patterns, some are paid for patterns. I actually haven't knit any or crocheted any of those on that list. So I'm going to kind of go through the month and try out all these different patterns and see which one works for me, because that sounds super fun. Additionally, I decided to add an extra layer of fun for myself, and I'm going to do it like advent calendar style. So what that means is my mother-in-law made these really cute door hangers for my daughters. I have two daughters. They are 1 and 3 years old. This is Eleanor's, and it's a advent calendar for the month of December, and it's got all these pockets in it. So you can put stuff like you would put chocolate, but like we put toys and crafts in it for the girls, so they get to open them for the month of December. Well, it's May, or it's April now, but it's gonna be May, so the girls aren't using them. So Eleanor my 1-year-old, has so graciously allowed me to use her advent calendar wall hanging to put my yarn in. So each day it's going to be a mystery what yarn I get to knit with. So I'm going to fill this up today, and some I'll do fabric, and I will do the fabric ones strategically. So I will do those on the weekends because I'm not really able to sew during the week. My sewing machine obviously is much louder than me knitting, and the wall where the desk I'm sitting at is where I put my sewing machine, and it shares a wall with Lottie's bedroom. So I can't sew at nighttime because I'll wake her up. So I can really only sew on the weekends. So the sewing ones will be, I'll like know when the sewing ones are coming up. So I'm going to cake up all of my mini skeins and yarn that I want to use for my 30 for 30 mini yarn cozy, not mini yarn cozy challenge to make 30 yarn cozies in 30 days. I am aware that there are only 25 days because this is a Christmas themed calendar. You can see that there's trees and stuff like that. But when I get to day 25 and I only have 5 left, I'll figure it out then. That will be a May 25th problem, not an April 22nd problem. So I'm pretty excited to get organized, get this going, and who knows if I'll even be able to make the 30. So maybe I'll only make 25 and that will be it. So I hope, my husband says I talk fast when I get excited, so I apologize if this was fast. Use the slow down button on YouTube where you can change the talking speed. I'm a high school teacher. My students always ask me to change the speed that people on YouTube talk so they can follow along a little bit better. So that's kind of my intro. I'm gonna go cake up my yarn, organize my mini skeins, my fabric for what I want to put in this calendar, and I will probably check in with you next, like talk to you on the camera, on May 1st for my first day of cozy making. Good morning. It is day 1 of my 30 cozies in 30 days challenge. I'm in my classroom because I am, of course, running late, but I have brought my supplies for my cozies. I'm doing this super cute neon green color from Earl Grey Fiber Company's Flora and Fauna Advent Countdown. I'm going to do a knit pattern, so I've got my US ones to magic loop, and I've got my Erin Lane bags. Sorry, that's my phone charger. Erin Lane bags project bag. I haven't decided the pattern yet. I know I want to do a knit pattern, and I'm pretty sure which one I want to do, but we shall see. Sorry for the terrible angle. You are propped up on my water bottle. So I will check in with you later. I'm hopeful that I can get all of my cozy knitting done at school today. I am substituting my prep, so hopefully I can get it done while I'm substituting. See you later. Good morning, day 2 of my 30 cozies in 30 days make along. Today I picked this super cute orange from Wobble Gobble, which I used in my test knit 2 years ago for, I think it's the Moonlit Romp sweater for Cape May Fibers. So I've been sitting on this like single ply because I don't really like single ply that much. And it's 24 grams, so I think I'm gonna hold it double because it's so thin. And I posted on Instagram stories if I should do it as a knit or crochet cozy, and a total of whole 4 people have voted already because I only posted it like 20 minutes ago. It's looking like knit. We'll see what it is when I get to my classroom. It's been a pretty good, it was tricky. It was tricky to get my cozy done during the school day. I ended up having to finish it at home. So I don't know if 100-gram cozies are actually going to work for all 30 days because it's looking like it's like 2.5 hours of knitting on these cozies, and that's taking a really long time, and I've got a test knit that I have to do. So I originally had the goal of trying out all these different patterns, and I'm learning after knitting a couple different ones already that I think I like crochet cozies better. I think it shows off the yarn better, and I think I like the denser fabric that it creates because the knit ones get really stretched because just the nature of knit fabric when you stretch around the ball. So I may pivot my plan to do crochet cozies the whole month. We'll see what the Instagram poll tells me today for how many, if I'm going to do another knit one. I've only done one knit one. Maybe it's just the pattern. We'll see. I'll reflect after maybe a third of the challenge and then see what I want to do. But I will see you later today for some crafting. I don't know what I'm doing. Good morning, day 3 of 30 cozies in 30 days. I have determined that 100-gram cozies are taking a really long time. They're taking me like 2.5 hours of knitting or crocheting. So I'm going to pivot on my plan and see if I can make it more manageable. I didn't want this to be my whole crafting time for the month because I'm doing a test knit. I thought it was going to be like a quick and easy, like fun little challenge every day, and it's turning into taking a long time. So today's cozy is I cranked the body part of it on my sock knitting machine actually last night because I realized I didn't say that I had to do them every day. So I cranked the body of the cozy, and then I'm going to do the decreases or cinch up the bottom and then just do the ribbing on the top and see if I can cut down on my cozy time and then start the crochet one that I want to do at school today too. So I pulled 2 days. So I could potentially get a jump on it. And I think I'll be able to catch up this weekend because I'm going to sew some of my cozies. So I think that will be easier. But my shoulder's starting to hurt a lot. And so is my like upper neck trap area. So I'm like, this is a sign that I'm crafting too much. So I'm going to pivot the plan and see if I can still salvage my 30 cozies in 30 days, but we'll see. But that's the point of this challenge, learning, right? It's all a learning experience. cranked my little sock tube. This is Destination Yarns. I can't remember. It's from their Korea, when the Olympics were in Korea. So this marker is where I'm planning on sticking my needles in, unraveling all of this, and then turning it into rib instead. And in the bottom, I'm just going to cinch up this little bottom so it's the bottom of the cake. Hopefully this works. Good morning. It's May 5th. I didn't get a chance to record a check-in yesterday. It was a very hectic day. I got to school, well, I left for school early, but then there was a police barricade on the way to school because according to our Nextdoor app, there was a robbery at an illegal gambling den on the way to school that like blocked the main thoroughfare. So I had to go around. So I ended up getting to school right when the bell rang. So I didn't get to start my cozies, but yesterday's cozy, I'm making Dottie Pots by Frankie's Knitted Stuff on Ravelry. All her patterns are free. I'm really liking it. I think I'm going to run out of my main color yarn, so we'll see how that goes today. I didn't finish the cozy yesterday. I ended up needing to work on my prep for I had some extra money to spend for the drama program, so I needed to order the things because yesterday was the deadline. So I didn't get to knit on my prep. I'm also teaching my 1st and 6th period economics classes how to knit and crochet as a case study on ethical business practice and how much we pay for labor in our clothing and fast fashion and all of that. So it's great. I'm having a great time teaching them, but that also means I don't have any of my own knitting and crocheting time, and my hands kind of hurt by the end of the day because it's 2 extra hours of showing them how to knit and crochet. The plan today is to finish my Dottie Pot and start another crocheted cozy with a leftover yarn from that. I'm really liking crocheted cozies the best. I do like the Dottie Pot a lot. I'm holding the yarn double, which I think is helping because it's creating a denser fabric. I'm not really liking the thinness of a fingering weight knitted yarn cozy. I feel like it's not showing off the yarn very well because when I put it on the cake, it stretches it, so you don't really get to see the really pretty colorways. And for me, the reason I have cozies is so I can kind of show off the leftover yarn that I have that's like kind of too pretty to go into just like a scrap blanket. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna move towards either DK weight cozies, which is just fingering held double, so I can get that denser fabric I'm liking, or crochet cozies for the rest of the month. I'm also decided that I'm going to just make the cozies as I go, because I realized at first I was trying to do 1 cozy a day, but I was like, wait, that's not the challenge I actually set. I said 30 cozies in 30 days. So if I knit 2 cozies one day and then no cozies the next day, I'm still on track. So I think this weekend I'm going to try and bust out a bunch of cozies because I'm feeling like I'm on a kick. And the rest of this month is going to get hectic and all those things. So hopefully I will check in with you later. Back. It is day 6, day 7 of my 30 cozies in 30 days. So it's the weekend, it's Sunday. So I sewed a bunch yesterday and I've like jumped ahead, right? Because sewing is way faster than knitting and crocheting. So I wanted to update you on what I made and also what I've decided about this challenge, because it's really only me. Like, there's no prizes, there's no rules. It's just me challenging myself. So we can adapt and change as our needs adapt and change. So I made 2 yarn cozies. This is this super cute Valentine's Day gnome print, which I wanted to have for Valentine's Day, but it's May, so obviously that didn't happen. So looking at you, Valentine's Day 2024. It ended up a little bit big because I think I measured the depth to be too much, and it's a little bit loose because I didn't pull the elastic tight enough, but I think it's okay because sometimes, like, if you've got like a larger skein of yarn like this, I've got a figuring weight 100-gram skein in there, so I think it'll be okay. I don't mind if it's a little bit loose. I know it'll probably be a problem as I start knitting, but I think it'll be okay. I'll use worsted weight in there or something like that. I also made yarn needle DPN cozies. So my husband puts the snaps on for me. My husband and my 3-year-old put the snaps on. So we're still experimenting with snap placement. And I've also learned that these cozies, I followed a free tutorial on the internet, are too long for the size DPNs that I have. So I actually need them to be like this size. So I think I'm gonna make some more because I've got plenty of fabric, but I think these will still be fine for my magic loop socks. Because I'm noticing, like, I throw my project witter bags around, my kids carry my knitting around for me, they move it if they're trying to play somewhere and I've left my knitting, and stitches are just slipping out. Like, we're doing life and they're slipping out, which is fine, but you know, it's kind of a bummer to pick up your project and then you're like, I dropped like 50 stitches, which is what happened yesterday. So I made 2 of these, and I had extra fabric, and I made one of these little origami pouches. I measured it incorrectly because I lost my template. So it's a right angle triangle instead of an equilateral triangle, but that's okay. So it's a little pouch, but now I've got this cute little matching set of Notions pouch, yarn cozy, DPN cozy. So this is going to be like a really cute Valentine's Day sock set. I'm not counting this as one of my cozies. I only count the DPN and the yarn cozy. I just didn't want to waste my fabric. So I have a second one of this, but it's already on a project bag. So that's 3 for those of you who've been keeping track at home. I'm like at 11 already. And this is 12. And this is 13. So I'm like really cranking along when I sew. So I made this one second after my gnome one, but it ended up too short. And I initially thought it was too big. I think I made the hem for the elastic casing too big. And I don't know, this one, like, see, they're largely different sizes. They both work. They're both going to work. It's going to be fine. But I'm still playing with getting the ratio perfect. I think I like this. I like the look of this one better. I think the bottoms are different sizes too. I think this one's bigger. So I think this one is better. I think I just need to use this more as a template and then shorten it. I don't know. I'm playing with this. This is a pattern. There's no pattern. I'm making it up as I go. So this is my 5th. These are my 4th and 5th fabric yarn cozies I'm trying to teach myself to make. I have to say I am getting better, but you know, it's a process. And then I also made myself another DPN cozy, which I may end up gifting to my sister because she has a matching project bag that goes with this. I also made a project bag with this fabric because I had a bunch of it, but it's not going to be used as a project bag. My daughters, I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, I use them as snack bags for them. So my 3-year-old's got 2 snack bags. She has a yellow polka dot and a donut print like that. Actually, nope, don't have it. A donut print one, but now my 1-year-old's getting old enough to need like snacks on the go, so I made her this one out of taco dinosaurs because my 1-year-old, she is a spicy little lady and she loves savory food. So she has her taco dinosaur snack bag and her sister loaded it up. my 3-year-old, she was so dedicated. I make the drawstring bags, and Lottie, the 3-year-old, she threaded the entire drawstring, like both the opposing ends. Took her like 40 minutes. I was like, you need help? And she's like, no, Mama, I got it. I'm going to keep trying. So I was really proud of her for just continuing on with something that was tricky. And she did it backwards once and she had to redo it. And we all know as crafters, it's a bummer when your craft doesn't work out the way you wanted to the first time. So she kept going. She didn't give up. So I was like, you go, girl, making a little sewer out of her. So those are my projects so far. I'm in the middle of another crochet yarn cozy. I started it on Friday afternoon. And I'll pick it probably back up tomorrow because I am ahead because it's only like this, I think today's the 7th. Today's the 7th, and I've finished 13 cozies. So I definitely have a buffer of almost a week now that I'm ahead. So I think it'll be good. I've determined I think I really just like the crochet ones or the fabric ones. I worked on the knitting ones. The patterns are fine. It is not the pattern at all. Definitely not the pattern. Because I've knit like 3 different patterns and they're all great. They're clear. They tell you exactly what you need to do. It's just, I don't think I like the way the look of how they're turning out. I don't think I'm liking how, I've got one here. I'm not liking how stretched out the knit stitches look when the cake is in it. I have all of them. This one I like the best, how it looks. This is it's called a ball sock by Mad Cow Mandy. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. This is my favorite look, how it came out. It also just took a very long time because it is 2x2 ribbing the whole way around. So this is my favorite knit one. I've knit 2 of these. The pattern's lovely. She gives you 20 gram, 50 gram, and 100 gram instructions. This is the 100 gram instructions. So this is definitely my favorite knit one. I don't think I was enjoying the process of it, and like, do I knit for finished product or do I knit for process? Mostly process. It's like 80% process. So, but I still want to like how it looks. This one was not my favorite in terms of the look. I had to make some modifications. So, and then my last one, this was my own doing. I cranked it on my circular sock knitting machine, which it came out great too. It's this one is my own pattern. I just kind of made stuff up and did stuff. So I've got modifications I need to make if I want to do that again. But like I said, I don't think I like how the stitches get stretched out. Even here, the stitches, it's ribbing. And I held this double because this is fingering weight held double. This is fingering out, just fingering weight. So even when you look at it with like, these are both 2x2 ribbing, I don't think I like it. Not the pattern, personal preference on what it looks like. So I think I'm moving towards just doing crochet cozies or fabric cozies. I think I'm gonna call that good because I've got lots of, oops, sorry, I just closed a drawer in my desk and then the whole thing shook. Sorry about that. I think that's where I am. I think I'm gonna move forward with crochet cozies and fabric cozies. And I gotta say, I really like Knitty Natty's mini crochet pattern. It's great. There's a couple like just like small features, not even small, but they're key to the pattern. There's like definitely, it's more than just a tube. And those little extras make it fit really nice. It looks really finished. So I think that's where I'm going with, which of course, for those of us who are fans of Knitty Natty, are you shocked? Are you shocked that it, of course, and really great attention to detail in terms of that. So I've I've crocheted 7 or 8 of the cozies, and I'm not bored of it. I really like the pattern still. I like how it's turning out. I went rogue for a hot second and did half double crochets because the pattern calls for single crochets. I did half double crochets because I wanted it to go faster, and it looked terrible. And I'm like, why did you try and change? Why did you try and change an already amazing pattern? Because I thought I knew better. I did not know better. So stick to the pattern, kids. Anyway, I will probably check in with you probably Monday on my way to school. Thank you so much for sticking with me on my almost 14 day for cozy number, yeah, 13, cozy number 14. It's been a lot. Thanks so much. Good morning. It is Wednesday, May 9th, I think. It's been a hectic couple of days, so I didn't do any check-ins. I am currently working on cozy number 15, so I'm still ahead of schedule. That sewing really helped me out because cozy number 15 gave me some trouble. I cast on I guess it's cast on, well, I magic ringed the wrong amount of stitches. So I made too many in the magic ring, so then each row got exponentially larger. So it was all ripply, and I was like, this doesn't look right. And I had way more than I was supposed to. I'm using Knitting Natty's mini yarn cozy pattern. And I was like, this is gigantic. What's going on? And then when I counted, I was like, oh shoot. So I had to rip the whole thing out and start again. This is like my 7th mini yarn cozy. So you would think I would know how to start it by now, but I don't. So I'm hopefully going to finish that one today and then start another one. But like I said, I'm ahead of schedule, so it should be fine. I'm really enjoying the crochet yarn cozies. I think that's what I'm going to continue with for the rest of the 30 days, I guess. I'm ahead, so I'm hopefully going to finish right around the 20th of May instead of 31st, but we'll see how things go, how things pan out. I'm planning to sew more yarn cozies this weekend and DPN cozies, so those really give me like a jump because I do like 5 of them in an hour, whereas I can crochet like 1 cozy in like 3 hours. So definitely a jump in time. So I will see you later. Good morning. It is Thursday, May 11th, 12th. I think it's May 11th. And I have another car update. I keep getting busy when I get to my classroom and then forgetting. I finished cozy number 15 in my classroom yesterday. I ran out of this purple yarn right before the I-cord bind off. So I had to do something else for the I-cord bind off, but it was perfectly fine. So now I have started on, cozy number 16. I'm still ahead of schedule. I'm going to plan to do some more sewing this weekend and hopefully get a big jump on it. I'm doing super well on my test knit. It's a capri length romper, and I finally joined the legs. It's knit bottom up, and now I'm working on like the pelvis area, so I'm hoping that I get that done as well because I'm really worried I'm going to run out of yarn. I have 4 skeins of yarn and I'm already into the 3rd skein. I'm just at the pelvis, so I'm a little bit worried. So I don't know, something about Yarn Chicken makes me knit faster, and I don't know what that is. It's like if I knit fast there will be more yarn, which makes no sense. The amount of yarn I have is finite, but somehow I think if I knit faster, I will end up with more yarn. I don't know. But I have to get in to go to work today. Good morning. It is Wednesday, May 17th. I know it's been a bit since I checked in. It's been a pretty hectic week. I had a bad day on Monday. I fell down while I was running and cut my palms open, and then I left my school keys at home so I could get into my classroom. And then yesterday was senior honors night, so I was emceeing that event. So it's been kind of hectic. I am almost done with all of the yarn cozies. I think I'm on like cozy number 25. I sewed a bunch this weekend, so I got a bunch of those done. And I finished another crochet one, and I'm casting on another crochet one I did last night. So it looks like I'm going to make the 30 days, no problem. I probably got 5 or 6 more. I do have some yarn scraps that I've set aside for the cozies. So, and I think it'll end up being more than 30, but I really want to use the yarn scraps because they've been sitting in stash for so long, and most of them are variegated. So I've been saving them for heels, toes, and cuffs, but I'm finding it's really hard to match a variegated heels, toes, and cuffs situation. So I'm just going to use them as yarn cozies. I did a bunch of cleaning last weekend of all my partial skeins. So I want to put all of those in yarn cozies so they don't get tangled again, because that's why I wasn't using the partial skeins, was because they were tangled. So I just kept ignoring them and throwing more in there and letting it get tangled. So I'm going to hopefully finish my yarn cozies maybe in the next 5 or 6 days, and then get all this set up for a YouTube video. Hello, it is Sunday, May 27th, and this is my last check-in for my 30 cozies in 30 days, and I have my very last cozy. This is cozy number 30. It is made out of Knit Picks Felici self-striping yarn. I think it's called Mermaid Tails, which it ended up being super cute, and I'm bummed that I kind of started self-striping yarn so late in my challenge, because it actually made it super fun, because it was always like waiting for the next stripe. It also made it really easy to like check to see like where I needed to count, right? Because it's like, oh well, if I just crochet to the gray, then I'm where I need to be. So I learned a bunch in this challenge. I learned that I really like crochet yarn cozies much better than knit yarn cozy. I think it's just I don't like the way the stitches stretch out when you have to do it for knit ones. My sister loves the classic can cozy. I just don't drink anything other than water, so I don't really have a need for cozies. But the cozies helped me so much organizationally in keeping my partial skeins from getting tangled in each other. I really liked making the fabric yarn cozies as well. They were super quick, and ultimately, I think that's what I'm going to kind of continue with, is making fabric cozies, because I like all the different prints that I find at Joann's, but don't really need more project bags. So it's a good way to, at least for me, to have the print of fabric that I want without having yet another project bag. Overall, I really enjoyed the challenge. I'm kind of glad to be done with it, because that was a lot of cozies. I will post on the screen like a wrap up of how many of each I did. I'm pretty sure it's about, I think it's like 3 or 4 knit cozies, and I think it's like 10 to 15 crochet cozies, and then the remaining 10 to 12 items are either fabric yarn cozies or DPN cozies. So I think that's how it's split out. The majority of them are crocheted yarn cozies, which like this one. So I highly recommend Knitting Natty's patterns. Like I said earlier in the video, they have a bunch of just little details that make them fit super well, and they're just really nice. So I believe she has a bundle. She has multiple bundles if you're a knitter or a crocheter, you want both, all of those things. But thank you so much for joining me on this, and I will see you in the next video.